Honey, I'm home. Oh, right. It's a bachelor pad. Well, why don't I just pour myself a baby-sized drink after a long day at work? Uh-huh. And we will put on a little music to relax to and look through today's mail. Let's see, what do we have here? Already pre-approved. Thank you. Bills? Nope. Credit card offer? Oh, hold on. This looks different. What is this? All the way from Prague. I can barely read this smudged ink. What is this? Tastes like olive oil from the Ministry of Balance. Ermahgerd, it's the Perch Nerts! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the patch notes, and having missed the last few, I really wanted to be able to sit down and share my thoughts on these because let's be real. This last update, the one that we're technically in right now, barring a couple small things, this was probably the best update Jizzle has put out in, I don't know, a very long time. So how will they follow up this patch's success? Will it be a Batman Returns that leaves me feeling funny inside? Or will it be the Hangover Part 2 where I literally felt as if I was watching the first one all over again? So let us get into it. But before we do, you've got yourself a very exciting Lepanto match going on in the background that will turn into, as of this recording, and to the best of my knowledge, the base XP record, as far as I know. And we will also show that not all Shimas are starch tubers. So, just to mix things up, and since we've got Lepanto on in the background, let's start with the balance changes, because between me and you... Hold on. Alright, come over here. Alright. Between me and you, Lepanto is getting buff. You see, Ouija has decided that the Italian battleships need a rework to turn them into brawlers, and I see a show of hands of people who are upset about this. I'm seeing... no, okay, nobody. Good, but in exchange for some of their new perks, they're getting a few nerfs. We don't need to cover all of them, because it really does affect almost the entire tier. But hold on to your butts, because this is crazy. Starting at tier 5, the AP shells are getting improved penetration angles. And we're not talking slightly improved, we are talking greatly improved. Guaranteed pins up to 55 degrees with a chance to ricochet out to 70. That is absolutely nuts. But we are just getting started in the nuttiness of this update. So next, Veneto is getting 3/4 of a kilometer more range to her secondaries. And Lepanto is getting another 1/4 of a kilometer. I think that's going to put out the max range to around 9.9 kilometers. But in exchange for these buffs, the AP is going to take an 8% damage nerf. Now, in my opinion, that is a deal I'd be willing to make any day of the week. Those pin angles are like a hybrid between Russian cruisers and American cruisers. This is a pretty big deal. Now, along with that, the Italian commanders are getting reworked and tweaked, and funnily enough, Paolo is getting a skill to essentially reverse the AP nerf. Along with that, all the Pan-Asian cruisers are getting buffed, so some low tiers are getting nerfed and buffed, and yada yada yada. Also, King George V and Duke York will be getting a more sensible Citadel location once again, and so at least KGV's heal's going to go back to normal. Okay. Deep breaths, Drake. We had to get the balance changes out of the way so that we could now discuss the imbalance changes. And that is the all-new legendary and epic modifications. Starting this update, your 4th mod slot, so pretty much any tier 7 and up, along with those few tier 3s, well, you will be able to make either an epic mod for them for 500 steals, no more quests, I guess, or an legendary modification for an additional 2,000 steel on top of that. Now, if you've got any, I would recommend you go get a jar of planters and take a seat. You're going to need something to snack on, probably nuts, because we are about to enter Willy Wonka's Factory of Insanity. Epic mods will be doing their bonuses per 30,000 damage done as it currently is in the game. The legendary mods will do that along with a stackable 5% bonus to damage for every ship sunk. Up to 25% bonus damage. Now, a lot of people are going to be saying like, oh, this is going to make everybody steal kills. And to that I would say, maybe. That's never, people do that already. But you are missing out on the very big insanity here. Let's just think of a few examples. Well, there's the Palo Emilio doing just about 30,000 damage with a single torpedo. Or how about the aforementioned Lepanto boosting its secondary damage output an additional 250,000 DPM per side? How about a Citadel from the Georgia doing over 20,000 damage? And what if you put on Arthas? What if you stack on Azure Lane, New Jersey on top of that? Do you think you can break 28,000 with a single Citadel? Could you break 30,000? You think Tier 6 has a tough bottom tier right now? Now, clearly, to get all of this damage completely maxed out, you will need a Kraken to do so. And honestly, at that point, how many reds are left on the team? But that's not the point. The point is that even a 2 or 3 kill game, which is not rare at all, that's going to give you 10 to 15% extra bonus. And that is just craziness. If we wanted this kind of weird game mode, we'd play Brawl. We have it for a whole month this update. But we don't want to play that. We just want a normal game. We don't need all these crazy gimmicks put in here. Let's just have standard battles be standard. We don't need these damage buffs. And the point that I'm trying to make is that I haven't initially read something coming to this game and had such a wait, what reaction having read this since Will to Rebuild. And we all know how great that was as an addition to the game. So yeah, not interested in the now 17,500 steel Missouri? Or you don't see the point of buying a Des Moines that gets preferential matchmaking for 30,000 steel in the Salem? Well, now you can just juice all of your ships to your heart's content. And on face value, obviously haven't tried it, but I think this is dumb. I think it is Bill's idea levels of dumb. Of course, it can always be changed, and I could always be wrong. But how long did it take them to change Will to Rebuild? 2.5 years of misery. And now, how much data did they collect on this before implementing it? A few super tests? Couldn't they have just done this in Brawl instead of moving it into standard? Oh God. Isn't that what Brawl is for? Is for these crazy ideas? Well, I don't know about you, but in my case, I will be saving this for whatever new ship is now in the Bureau. This piece of paper is blank. There's no new Bureau ship? WTF. And here is another shining example by Ouija and what makes me so nervous about these epic and legendary mods. They have a record of bringing in half-baked ideas as fast as they can, but then not knowing what to do with it. Look at the Bureau. Not only is the Bureau completely uninteresting and an unengaging way to unlock legendary tier ships, they can't even keep it stocked. Isn't one of the selling points of premium time the ability to research 2 projects at once? And wasn't the notion of legendary tier ships in-game content for long-term players? And just what is the reason of getting research points if there's nothing to research with them? Not to mention, they've capped the research points at 3.5 million. So if you're a long-term player, you know, the one who probably has plenty of premium time and have been playing a while, so probably in need of in-game content, well, you, friend, are what we in the biz call SOL. And no, this does not impact the majority of players. But, yes, it does look bad, and it impacts many long-term players. The Schlieffen was added, 4 months ago? And I think Napoli was like 2 or 3 months before that. So for some players, most of them very long-term players, they've had 1 ship running in the Bureau for the majority of this year and nothing running in it for 1, 2, maybe 3 months, and who knows when something else will come back. You know, this is starting to feel a lot like I am watching The Hangover Part 2. Please tell me we're nearing the end of this. Yes, we are. Alright, plans are here. Watch me dodge these storms, which is great to see. Next stop, Training Rooms Town. But we've got some new guises. Lady Liberty, Popeye, and Bluto, and I'm calling it right now the Popeye guys if it has its own voice line. Well, that's going to be the best thing this update. Oh, wait. Hold your horses. We've got some new ships. Primarily, for me, I'm looking at the San Diego, and I think that ship is actually more compelling than the Tulsa, and definitely more interesting than the Salem. It is essentially like an Atlanta that shoots SAP and AP, if I remember correctly, but it'll be like a super duper light cruiser at tier 7. So that'll be interesting. What else is there this update? Yeah, there's a 6-barrel Des Moines at tier 8 that frankly does not sound that interesting to me, and there's the Steel Des Moines at tier 8, which lulz. Yeah, anyway. Maybe it's just late. Maybe it's because it's 9:30. Just getting done with work about an hour ago to do this, and I'm feeling cantankerous, but yeah, again, you know, I don't want to be Mr. Negative Nelly, but it's one of those things where, you know, I always try to reserve judgment on anything until we actually play it. You never know, because I've been wrong about things in the past. Many times wrong, according to my exes. But, you know, this may not be as atrocious as it sounds. So let's just reserve judgment. Let's put down the pitchforks until we have actionable reasons to burn things to the ground. And speaking of that, let's pick up this 6-pack. Where is that Shima? I bet you I know where they are. I bet they are right in front of me. So let's just get our smoked in here. And ta-da! Here they are. Oh, are they going to try and torp me? Of course they are. But secondary balanced. And this will be a dev strike on them. So there's the 6-pack. There is the, as far as I know, XP record in this ship. And there are the patch notes, folks. You all tell me down in the comments section, am I overreacting? Am I underreacting? I guess that's possible too. What are you looking forward to in this update and all of that gobbledygook? And I guess we will talk soon.